Alright, stick around until the end to check out the cards and the stats. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, please. We have War number 9 up against New Nation. They are perennially a top 3 alliance. They're one of our, I think, biggest rivals just because we're trying to be a consistent top 3 alliance. But here, I'm going to be bringing a kind of weird team. And this is going to be my first fight. So there's not really anything on this fight. But you guys can see there that they're running the Protect Global instead of Stubborn. So I'm actually bringing my rank 2 Morningstar. And this is going to be a fight that I use to build up Morningstar, get her an extra soul. You do see that it's got Mystic Ward there. So I'm not going to really be able to nullify anything from her. But that doesn't really matter. In section 2, I have this Venom. Perfect fight for Morningstar. And then I've got Colossus up there. Another Morningstar fight that I can use. And then I'm going to use that 5-soul Morningstar for that Hulkbuster on node 47, which is really strong placement. And then initially I had planned to take that Sorcerer Supreme mini boss on Aspect of Evolution and Improved Power Gain. That's why I'm bringing Magik. So I have OG Gilly for the Morningstar synergy to start Morningstar out with 1 additional soul. So her Awakened ability, I'm going to have 1, and then you'll see right next to her, I automatically get 2 souls to start this fight. 1 from the Guillotine synergy. So I was slightly nervous about this fight because it is a rank 3. I'm using a rank 2, and you know, if I were to slip up here, it could be a pretty big deal. If I use my SP1s and my SP2s, those are energy attacks, so it's just going to build up Captain Marvel's binary charges. But I do have to get off this SP3 here. And basically I just want to slow play this fight. So once I get my 3rd soul here, I just need to get to 100 soul charges. I'm not sure if that's what they're called, but I need to do that. I went ahead and pushed her, knocked her over after she's got the 10 binary charges, pushed her into binary ignition, because I didn't want to do that when she had an SP2, because then it would be fully unblockable. And now I can just wait that out. So that worked out really well. 2 more hits. Alright, there. So I've got my soul for the fight. And I can push her over 2 bars of power. As long as she doesn't have binary ignition activated, then it's not really a big deal. You see there, I tried to nullify the armor, but there's a 95% chance on this node for Mystics nullifies to, or just for nullify in general to not work. So here we have the same idea. I want to go ahead and knock her into binary ignition while she's only got an SP1, because I can easily dex that one. And then here, it's totally okay if she throws her SP2. I'm just going to fully block all of this. I don't need to mess around with that. If I messed up there on a full dex attempt, or even a partial dex attempt, she would stun me and I would probably die. So my health, this was the hardest fight building Morningstar up that I had. Not a super difficult fight, but I knew that I was going to take damage. Not really a big deal. So, all right, here I'm doing my final push here. I've got 3 fights here, and then we're about to do our final push on Mini Island. So, you know, this node has passive heal block. I'm running half suicides, by the way, not liquid courage, just double edge. Morningstar, of course, is bleed immune, so that's totally fine for her. And for every new buff that Venom gets, I'm going to get a passive weakness. And you guys see that I've got 7 passive weaknesses, or I'm sorry, they're just weakness debuffs, but I'm not concerned at all about that. All I want to do is get to my SP3. And then once I use a special, those weaknesses will reset. So I just need to get to my SP3. I definitely want to bait out this SP1. I don't think that there's unblockable SP2 on this node, but even still, I don't want to take that additional block damage yet. I just need to get to the SP3, get that 4th soul, and once I have that, see there, I did take the SP2, but once I have that 4th soul, then I can use an SP2 to nullify all of his buffs, and it should do pretty strong damage. I am running 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion for that Hulkbuster fight, which I'm pretty worried about. So I actually overshoot the SP2, and I accidentally get to my SP3, but it's fine. This is going to get me up to 4 souls. I'm going to reset the power gain buff with my heavy attack. I do want to try to bait this out, this SP1. And because he's stubborn, I don't want to mess around with the dex there. So the SP2 does a decent amount of damage. But yeah, basically this whole fight is the same thing on repeat. I just want to bait out his SP1s, and then once I got my 4th soul, I just want to be using my special attacks to end him. So there he goes down. A little bit longer fight than I was hoping for, but totally safe. Alright, so I've got 4 souls. I need to get 5 for this Hulkbuster fight. I'm going to top her off on health. Love using units for potions. And here, I've got the extra slow-mo, so you know that something important is happening. This is called foreshadowing. I use the Power Start 1 boost, and let me explain my thinking here. So I've got 4 souls. I know that I need to get to 5 souls in this fight, so I got to get to my SP3 first. But it does have Rich Get Richer, which means the champ with more active buffs is going to gain passive power. Alright, so I used my SP2 just to nullify all of his buffs. With Mystic Dispersion, I knew that I would get right back up to an SP2, then I can build up to my SP3. And then obviously after this SP3, I just need to make sure that I get my 5th soul. And then I can just use SP2s or SP1s. The SP1 is actually usually going to be the best option here, but I do push over to an SP2, so I'm just going to empty out my power. And the SP1 is really what I want to use here because of the massive energy damage with 4 souls. So I could have gone full combo into my SP1, but I mean it hardly matters. That didn't quite finish him off, so I'm just going to bait this last special. Alright, so I used the Power Start 1 boost and I activated it here because that's what I chose to use against this Hulkbuster. I know that he's got armor. I know that he inflicts shock when you crit against him if he has an armor. And I know that he's going to get kinetic transference power and powerful from afar. So I was thinking I'm just going to start with a PS1, build up to an SP2, and I'm just going to start recycling SP2s to make sure that I'm constantly nullifying his armor buff and the power gain buffs that he gets from Powerful from Afar. Alright, so that is my strategy here. Now Morningstar I think is a pretty decent matchup here. With Protect you can't use Corvus. You can, but you would have to intercept, and it's just really not a good idea. So I think that this was a really good matchup. And you know, as long as he's throwing his specials, I can just nullify. Should be okay. Now, I believe that he does have a little bit of energy resist. I would have to check that. If I'm wrong about that, you guys can correct me in the comment section. But with my mastery setup here, which is half suicides, and I've got a point in recoil, and then of course I've got big mystic boosts, I'm doing a lot less damage than I thought I would be doing. And you can see with kinetic transference, every time he gets to an SP2, he's just getting right back up to an SP2 or close to it. And then Powerful from Afar is giving him a little extra power. So I'm in a bad loop here. What I should have done right there is back off and just bait the SP1 to kind of reset his power meter a little bit. And at this point, I'm at the mercy of RNG. I need him to throw this special. He doesn't. So I have to go for it. I have no choice. And I hold my block hoping that he would come at me with a combo. He doesn't. And the first component of his SP3 just completely obliterates me. Okay, so my fatal flaw here was using a Power Start 1 boost instead of an Invulnerability boost. I thought that I was going to be saving myself shock damage, even though Morningstar is highly energy resistant. Uh, I believe with 5 souls, maybe it's even with 4 souls, or maybe it's native. I don't really know, but I know that she's got a big energy resist. She gains buffs, and she's frankly just a beast with 5 souls. So I thought that it was going to be great, but here you guys see I just chose the wrong boost. And then obviously in the fight, in the heat of the moment, I didn't take seriously enough the power from afar, and I pushed him over the SP2 consistently, and I should have just been a lot more patient and tried to bait his SP1. And here you guys see, I mean, they're just not dying. So that is it for the war. Here are my stats. I had 3 super easy fights and then that 1 hard fight on a pretty hard node that we die to more often than most nodes. Here are my season stats. You know, it's not a great war for me. I had 3 kills and I died once, didn't finish that node. Here are the cards. We've got Bryn, Dreamin, and FaZe. Check out Dreamin's video from this war he posted with the awesome Dragon Man action. Also, shout out to Sammer. These guys, they beat us 2-5, so they're just really good. And yeah, it's going to take an almost perfect performance to beat NEWN. So anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. I appreciate it. Leave a like and a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.